Hello all, this is Hector Viguer, CEO of Brainstorm Multimedia, and welcome to our virtual week. We have with us here Miguel Churruca, our marketing director. Hi, Miguel.
Hello, Hector. Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us here in this Brainstorm Virtual Week. We are very close, apparently, but so far away.
Well, just for you to know, if you have any question, please don't hesitate to use the Q&A tab. Do it while we are live, so you will have a reply immediately.
Brainstorm helps customers all over the world to create amazing content by using 3D graphics in real time, virtual sets, augmented reality, and virtual technology in general to engage their audiences and enhance the storytelling. In this session, we will have some customers telling us how they did some of the amazing projects they've done in 2021, as the ones you see here in this video wall right behind me.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thanks, Miguel. This presentation has been made using our own tool, as it has to be. We are using Edison PRO. There's a presentation. I am driving with my clicker. There's a virtual set, and all the people that is shown in here is teleported using our technology. So Miguel, for example, is in Madrid, I am in Valencia, and we will have people from England and from some other places in the world just teleported to our virtual set. And with this said, thank you, Miguel, for being with us for a while. We will talk later again.
I'll be right back.
Okay. I am just going to talk a little bit about Brainstorm, what is Brainstorm, and what we do. The company was founded in 1993 and it's privately owned. We are 100% committed to innovation, and we have a very strong development team. That's more than 50% of our staff. Just to compare a little bit things, our development team is bigger than some of our competitors' team, which is more than 10 times bigger as a company. So we reinvest up to 25% of our income in R&D, and we have advanced industry first and unique technologies, some of them patented. So our customer includes from NHK in Japan to CNBC in the States, going from the world's largest broadcasters to numerous smaller ones and regional companies. And with this said, let's go to what is our product range. Brainstorm started as a boutique shop making customized election games and clock program for TV stations. From that, we moved to a utility, a software called eStudio that is like a Swiss Army knife that can be used by engineers for engineers in the TV station to create any 3D graphics content needed in a broadcast environment. But a few years later, we discovered that the broadcast industry was changing and that we needed an operator mentality, and we hired an operator to be our product manager and created a layer on top of eStudio that is called Aston to make motion graphics. It has an ecosystem of tools on top, like on-demand to control the system, Neuron to integrate our titling engine in the newsroom system, or an API to be controlled by the automation systems. Okay. Later, we developed the same kind of tool for broadcast virtual reality and augmented reality, or backdrops like LED walls. We call that Infinity Set. And again, we developed an ecosystem to control it, like the web controller and an API for third-party applications. After that, a few years later, we saw in the market a new trend. It was a lot of people creating content for the Unreal Engine. It's a game engine. And the important thing is that they have a huge marketplace with very high-quality content that can be used for a very low price. And we say, yes, we need this to be connected with our system. And we did this connection. The last item we have added to our collection of products is Edison. in this infinity set, most of the time, the presenter is doing a presentation. He's talking about something and he has behind him with a clicker something he's talking about. Sometimes it's weather, sometimes it's just corporate things talking about. And this is what we have developed as an application. This is Edison, that his main purpose is for presentations. Okay, we've seen this product range. Let's go now to a commercial overview of the company with David Alexander, our commercial director from his house in England, connecting with us. Hello, David.
Hi there, Hector. Thank you for that introduction. Yes, I just want to talk about a few milestones and reasons for our success in 2021, which has been a great year so far for us. Yeah. So you'll see on the slide here our global presence. This is key to us. It's that we've expanded our presence throughout the world even more than previously, from our offices in Spain, in Madrid and Valencia, out to, of course, our subsidiaries, which we have in the US, Mexico, Singapore, Beijing, and of course, our ever-expanding network of resellers, systems integrators, and technology partners that are crucial to providing a local service to you, our customer base there. The other aspect of our success is based on our technology. So if you see in this slide, we have our Suite 4.1. This is a wide range of new features and tools which we had introduced and which have been very, very important in our success and the success of our clients throughout this year. Aston, which is our graphics system, Hector has mentioned there, and we have introduced a variety of features, including the multi-channel capability, which allows now for dual channel, quad channel, and multi-channel. There's ever greater demand for such systems as this. And we've already spoken about the Edison PRO. This is our presentation tool, which is revolutionizing the presentation market because we have democratized our high-end broadcast tools and brought some of those into the presentation application, the Edison PRO. Now, of course, the milestones are nothing without our clients. And here's a small sample of many of the clients and their programs which have been successful this year. So if we start at the top left, the Mummer Award, hugely influential, hugely impactful music awards there. We have the I'm a Celebrity, we have sports, the Olympics, Wimbledon, through to news and election programs, which we've been instrumental in Chile and Portugal, for example. So it just gives you a brief flavor of what we have done and what our clients have done throughout this year. So Hector, back to you.
Thanks, David, and goodbye. See you later. Just following on what you were talking, I want to go now and review some of these stories with the users so they can tell us what they have been, what tools in Brainstorm they have been using and how they use the tools to create this fantastic content. Well, as a result of the COVID pandemic, the creative industry had to think about new ways to make their Congress, and virtual productions were there very handy, and they have helped this industry to create virtual and mixed events. We have with us here Jens Lampe. He's the CEO and founder of Nominari. Hi, Jens.
Hi, Hector. Glad to be here.
Pleasure. Okay, will you tell us a little bit about Nominari and what you do?
Sure. When we founded Nominari in 2017, we had the idea to provide, professional webcast and live streaming services to content creators as well as small and medium-sized companies, which were not able to afford a fully equipped studio of their own. So that is basically where we started. But it turned out quite quickly that there's a large demand in this area of business also for multinational companies with branches all over the world. So our company is not a typical video production company. Based on my personal background as a technical project manager for events, Nominari is somewhere in between a typical event technology firm and a video production company. And it turned out that this combination fits perfectly to the current needs of our clients.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You were probably the first company to start doing or converting these live events in virtual productions. I think the first one you did in March 2020 was MedArt in Basel. Is that right?
You're absolutely correct. But I mean, to be sure, I'm not sure if we were the first ones, but we were right at the beginning of the pandemic. And you're also completely right. When we were asked to provide a solution to transform the MedArt from a presence event into a virtual one, that was really like one of the first weeks of the pandemic time, and it was also 6 weeks before the go live. So we had to find quickly a feasible but nonetheless an outstanding solution for our client. And when we were discussing possible solutions, we all agreed on the idea that a digital version of the MedArt should be a fully digital version, not just a plain capture of the usual event, just without the audience. And that is where Brainstorm came in.
Mm-hmm. I think you counted with the help of Markus Wallis. He's the Brainstorm representative for the German-speaking area from IT4 Media, and also with the Brainstorm production team, because at this time, traveling was not allowed. How did it work?
Exactly. I mean, I already had contact with Markus a couple of months before the whole pandemic and before we had to find a solution for the digital MedArt. And at that time, I was just, searching around the internet, and I stumbled upon real-time render engines, live camera tracking, and all that fancy stuff. And I contacted Markus if he could give me an overview and maybe, kind of a rough ballpark figure, maybe for a future investment in the next 2 or 3 years. So when I was asked to provide a solution for a digital MedArt, I remembered this conversation with Markus, and I contacted him straight away. And he started working, and he already involved you guys from Brainstorm, and from then on everything went super, super fast. Whilst Markus took care on the hardware part, we had an in-depth online training for Infinity Set with a test setup in our studio here in Basel. And together with Brainstorm and the production services, we were able to pre-program basically the whole show completely in our studio. And that was, for us, it was really a challenge because we went from 0 to live within like 6 weeks. And with the support from Brainstorm, it was quite easy and quite straightforward to adopt one of the virtual sets, which come with Infinity Set, to the needs of our client. And for the show itself, we decided to go with the fantastic TrackFree capabilities on Infinity Set. That gave us a lot of freedom on set without having, or bringing in a lot of gear like tracking systems and stuff. So for us, the support of Brainstorm was phenomenal. Even on site, we had always someone on call. And I mean, that is for a live event absolutely key, because our experience was not that big and it was a new system for us. So we were super, super happy to have a reliable and proficient support during the whole project.
I know that now in 2021, you just finished a new edition of the MedArt. I think probably new challenges, something new in this 1 year that happened to the scene now. Can you describe what were these new challenges?
Well, the biggest challenge was, to kind of top the outcome of last year, because I mean, the client was super happy last year in 2020, but the expectations of our client were even higher than last year, and So we had to, kind of improve the whole concept, but we also wanted to stay consistent with the overall concept, which worked pretty well last year. So we decided to not to use a pre-programmed set for the 21 edition. Instead, we designed a custom virtual set for them. And to give them even more freedom of movement on stage, we decided to go for completely tracked cameras that way. So there were the biggest challenges for 2021 to kind of get a improvement over last year.
Just out of my curiosity, what were the kind of tracking systems you were using? Do you have a render per camera?
We actually had more or less a render per camera. We did a kind of unusual concept. We had like 2 cameras on one render engine, but we used we used actually 3 cameras in total. So we used for the 2 manned cameras, we used the Moses Star Tracker system, which was super easy to install on site because we just used the net and put it above the stage. And the 3rd camera was a PDZ camera from Panasonic, and I mean the 100 series and the 150, they provide tracking data out of the box, and it's super straightforward to integrate that into Infinity Set. So that was pretty straightforward and worked out super well.
Talking about the results, I think repeating the experience, you did it in 2020. If the customer repeated in 2021, he probably was very, very happy with the results. Okay, what were they expecting in 2021, and what was the outcome, the result?
Well, as I already mentioned, I mean, the expectations of our client were even higher than last year, and one of the key points for them was the freedom of movement on stage, and because you got to be aware that we are talking about a congress with doctors. They are not like trained talents. They are really coming out of their usual daily work, moving on stage and just presenting and back to work. So we had like 50 to 60 presenters during those 4 days, and they really wanted to gain more freedom of movement on stage and no limitations in regard of the amount of people on stage. And that was one of the main things we had to consider. So we decided to upgrade Infinity Set to a tracked version and use the Moses tracking system, and that gave us everything we needed.
Well, that looks very, very nice. Just to sum up, what are your feelings for the future? Is this technology coming to stay? How do you see that?
Definitely. I think based on our experience during the corona pandemic and after a lot of interesting discussions with our clients, I'm pretty sure that the technology itself will stay. But I also think that we will face, a kind of new type of event, which gives both parties of participants the best possible experience. You get, on the one hand side, you get, the on-site participants in real life. And the people are missing the personal contact. The people are missing, to go for a drink after the show. On the other hand, you got the online participants, and there are a lot of advantages as well, because you don't have to travel that much, and you save a lot of time. So I think we are heading towards a extended reality type of event, which combines the best of both worlds. So we will have the virtual part extending the real life part. And I think that is what we're going to see in the next couple of months or the next 1 or 2 years.
Yeah, that sounds really interesting. Thank you, Jens, for sharing with us your thoughts.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
This has been a wonderful sample of the works done by our customers using our software. There is a very interesting project, and I think the interviews were very, very interesting. So let's go back again with Miguel Churruca, our marketing director. Hi, Miguel. How are you doing?
Hi, Hector. How are you? I'm very impressed with what I've seen. But our customers and our users all over the world do amazing work, and we have some other samples we can talk about in the next couple of minutes. So if you don't mind, I'm going to run through them, through these videos, and explain a little bit about them, and I'll talk to you later.
Okay, see you later.
Okay, see you in a moment. Camkoon is one of the most important production companies in China, servicing national public television, CCTV, and many other regional television stations. We have Terry Lee from Brainstorm China here with us, who will talk on behalf of Camkoon about one of the latest projects about Sanxin Dui. Hello, Terry. Thanks for being here.
Hello, Miguel. I'm happy to attend this activity and nice to talk to you.
We are happy to have you here. Well, the Sanxin Dui ruins are one of the most famous cultural relics in China, I think. And following new archaeological discoveries there, Chinese national television CCTV relied on Camkoon to present them in a visually attractive manner. What can you tell us about this interesting show?
Sanxin Dui Discovery is a series show during the whole process of archaeology project. Most of the shows are focused on live news broadcast, but if only with the news from beginning to the end, audience will feel a bit boring with it. So after discuss between CCTV leader and Camkoon production team, they come up a new idea to make Dalian alive. Dalian appearance is a human being, a copper sculpture, and archaeologists guess it might symbolize a king in the past. As one of the most important treasure, it can very well represent Sanxin Dui culture. Camkoon believed to make Dalian alive and talk with a real presenter will help to catch audience eyes, attract their interest to know more about Dalian and the Sanxin Dui knowledge.
Well, this seems to be a creative way to bring archaeology and history closer to the audiences at home. Would you explain how Camkoon managed to do this show? How was the technical
In order to make Dalian alive, firstly, we need our Infinity set to work with Unreal Engine together. Means combined render engine. Since the traditional broadcast engines are not good at with motion capture system, but as a game engine, UE4 performed very well for this part. So combined with both engines, we can get reasonable workflow from Infinity set and realistic render quality from Unreal at the same time. Secondly, Camkoon used world-famous motion capture and facial capture equipment to drive Dalian character model. After several times calibration and test, finally they achieved the best result to simulate human motion. Thirdly, in order to make the camera shot more freely, CCTV only use Steadicam for filming. To track this movable camera, Camkoon decided to use optical tracking system. Since the museum is very dark, also need to use the infrared light, and they stick some reflectors on the ceiling to achieve precise and stable tracking result.
That's great. So which were the main challenges that they have to overcome with this project?
Actually, at the final part of this show, need to transport Dalian and the presenter from museum to a virtual scene to show ancient Sanxin Dui environment. So we need to do the chroma key without green background. It is hard, especially in such a dark museum. Camkoon finally developed an automatic chroma key based on image processing without any green or blue background. Finally overcome this difficulty.
That's most impressive. Well, it seems that Camkoon achieved an excellent result at the end. Do you have any feedback from them that you can share with us?
Ethan, who is the CEO of Camkoon, is very highly with the corporation this time. He thought Brainstorm solution gave them a great support and confident to complete this interesting project. And they proved that to combine multiple kinds of high-end technology with creative graphics production is essential for being competitive in today's demanding content creation market.
Well, that's all great stuff, Terry. So thank you so much for being with us in this virtual week. And please send our thanks and recognition to Ethan and Camkoon for sharing this project in
Thank
this
you, and have a
Brainstorm
nice
Virtual
day.
Week. Thank you so much, Terry.
Bye-bye.
Well, after this quick overview of work our customers are doing all over the world every day, it's time to talk about innovation, about R&D. So here we have Hector back to tell us about the projects Brainstorm is involved with. Hello, Hector.
Hi, Miguel. It's been very interesting to see these movies commented out with the software from Brainstorm and the functionalities used in each of them. Really, really interesting. Let's go now and see what the commitment of Brainstorm with the R&D is. So we are working in 4 projects that are subsidized by the European Commission. These are 5G Roots, Admire Project, Present, and 5G Media Hub. They are quite interesting projects involved with technology. But let's have an overview of one of them. For example, Admire. The Admire project is very interesting due to the fact that we are trying to bring the typical person at home to the studio. We are bringing him to the studio with augmented reality, with back walls made of LED walls, and with a lot of technology. Quite interesting. Let's see what happens with this project in the future. And well, this is all talking about Brainstorm, commercial aspects, what our customers are doing, what videos of things done, and what is the commitment with the R&D. And so this is the end of this show today. Miguel, if you have something to say?
Just to thank you all for attending the show, for watching us, and hope to see you in any other session of this week. Bye for now.
Okay, goodbye.